This is Pete Moore on Halo Talks NYC. I have the pleasure of bringing one of my oldest friends in the industry back in the early 2000s when none of you attended any trade shows. We were here to start this pioneership. We are on location, Los Angeles Convention Center, URSA now becoming the Health and Fitness Association, which I think is a more appropriate name. And I'm here with Jill Kinney, and we are excited to talk about the future of wellness, the future of partnerships, and bringing our expertise and programming to places that need it the most, but for some reason have been overlooked. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Pete. It's great to be here, and it's great to get some time with you again.
Yeah.
We do go back.
We go back. We worked on several deals together. We've toured in many health clubs. Not sure we worked out in them, but I know Robin Klaus, rest in peace, did a lot of cycling with him. He's getting an award today, by the way. We're doing an innovation award for him at our event. So I'll see you there. So look, you've been in this industry and basically started when there were managed contracts, there were clubs, high end, low end, maybe it didn't matter. I'm in the health club industry. We didn't have to really define it. And now you're on to active wellness. Talk about what that business model is and talk about how you've kind of taken all your expertise and said, look, I know what this market needs and I actually have a model to actually overlay it with.
Yeah. We are Active Wellness is a fitness and wellness management company, but we've kind of taken a different twist. Our background is predominantly in developing and owning and operating clubs, where we build our own brand and we build our own model, and we're bringing that to the fitness management business. So we've got two models that we've brought to the market. One of them is an active wellness center, which is a version of a medical fitness center, but with profitability and a business mind. So a competitive brand, something that's much more consumer facing.
Over time, a lot of hospitals said, hey, it makes sense for me to have a fitness center on my campus. But one, they didn't run it as a commercial club and they didn't really have any DNA of like, here's how you do sales and marketing. And also it's probably part of the population that says like, I'm only going near the hospital when I need to be there.
Right.
And I'm not trying to get closer to it. I'm trying to get further away from it. So how did you kind of say, hey, look, you guys you're onto something, but it's not built properly for success long-term because you're not thinking about the things a consumer thinks about.
Yeah. No, I don't think that the healthcare systems or hospitals per se really understand marketing. Most of the folks that we've dealt with felt like their medical fitness center was somehow or another going to be so unique that it didn't compete. And
right.
There's nothing further from the truth. So, I think what we've been able to do is go in and right-size facilities, oftentimes coming in as the second group in,
right.
second, third group in. But we bring our business expertise on the marketing and sales side, and then bringing the consumer-facing brand, the Active Wellness brand, because you're right. I mean, who wants to go join a gym in a hospital?
Yeah.
So it's kind of forces you to scratch your head. What we've done is we've kind of taken our branding and our marketing and sales skills and turned these businesses around so they're profitable. They're generating 18 to 25% EBITDA returns.
Yeah.
And, so we run it like a business. And then, when we have an opportunity to design and develop new ones, we start with classic club feasibility marketing analysis. We're not really looking at the benefit of what comes from the healthcare system. We're looking at whether that's a great place for a club. And then all of the sites we have are the best clubs in the market.
Yep.
So we run them with a level of customer experience that attracts members.
One of the interesting parts about running a hospital, running a nonprofit, they seem to have a fair amount of real estate that's kind of been accumulated over time. Some of it is mission critical, and they probably should have it. And some of it's like, I'm not really sure how you got a hold of this or why you actually own this. So when you have conversations with groups like this and the CEO or the CFO of a hospital, and you say, look, I know you might, let me try to erase what you know about people that have been in front of you before. Like, I can show you, I always say this term, experience is what you get when you don't get what you want. I've tried a lot of things. I nailed this. Give me a clean sheet of paper and let me explain how we can actually take this real estate and turn it into income producing real estate.
Right.
And give me a shot at that. What are some of the things that, some of the things you hear and are able to say, look, I know you understand that that's how it used to be, but let me tell you how it works with active wellness.
Yeah. Well, what we've been able to do, Providence, the healthcare system, is a major investor of ours, and we've got a chance to spent time working on their executive committee for the ambulatory care network. And so really got a chance to work side by side with them in terms of what was needed and where an integration can actually happen and how that can become a profitable clinical operation. And what we've done is we've created a small footprint, 5 to 10,000 square feet, where we can deliver what we call Activate as the brand.
Right.
And Activate is a high-touch, personalized wellness and fitness program with every member having their own personal health coach, their own personal trainer. We have a registered dietitian. We have sleep specialists. We have people who come to build out the ultimate wellness and fitness program for this individual. And they come, we're using e-gym equipment.
Okay, yeah.
We've got a recovery area. We've got brain training using Dividot and Smart Fitness. So it's a small footprint, but a very robust, personalized wellness program. And what we're bringing to the healthcare community now and others is that you can do this in a small footprint. We've got, this is turnkey, a $2 million drop-in-place product. We're putting it into ASCs, ambulatory surgery centers, where the orthopedic surgeons that are essentially building these things around the country, they put their medical group office in and maybe a 4-suite ASC, and we're dropping an Activate in there so they can churn more patients through surgery. We prep the patients for surgery. They go in and do the surgery, they come out and they do PT, and then they come back to us for fitness.
So on the door of the location, it says Activate.
It says Activate.
And that's the brand that you're in the market with as a brand of active wellness,
Right.
correct? Okay.
So we're doing that as a joint venture. We're working with developers. We're actually launching sites in senior living, in independent
That's
living.
amazing. I mean, I spent so much time in my grandmother's assisted living facility. I was like shocked that they didn't have a fitness component or stretching area, and I felt like these locations, the owners of those businesses are not necessarily thinking about the business the way they should be. Like assisted living should be the longevity, right? Because now I have a recurring bed filled. Like, why not try and optimize this person's health and fitness while they're here? So I don't have to, no, like we're talking about death and dying and longevity. So
Yep.
I'm sorry about that topic, but why not have somebody there till 95 instead of 88?
Yeah,
right? I mean,
their margins can go way up. But the seniors that are going into independent living or in CCRCs, which are the groups that we're primarily working with, they're high end. People are demanding a different level of experience.
Yeah.
It's not just a treadmill and a bike in the other room. This is a full-blown, robust, personalized wellness program, one that's data-driven, one that's can be connected with your personal physician on the electronic health record. So it's really techy, and it's also really effective. But we bring in a solution. So we say, hey, up your amenity.
right.
We bring in Activate, and we locate it like a retail operation. So all of the residents have access to it as part of their cost, their cost. But we open it up to the public too. So
That's
it's
great.
a mixed retail amenity.
I got to tell you, in addition to that, just thinking about myself going, like, and my grandmother, she passed away, but she was at Sunrise Assisted Living all the time. We just used to say, Grandma, just don't get to the third floor. That's when you really like say things that people aren't allowed to say.
Yeah, right.
She was always on the second floor. God love her, Helen Schutz. My mom will like that I give her a shout out. If I was able to go see her, and I was actually also able to go to a workout for a half hour, then I could go back upstairs and have lunch with her. It's actually like an amenity for like the family.
Yeah.
I never really thought about that as like a benefit. I paid $20 for a guest pass to go and see my grandmother and stay there for 2 hours instead of like 45 minutes or an hour.
Yeah. Well, and the people we're dealing with are generally healthy.
Yeah.
A 75-year-old today is not a 75-year-old from 20 years ago. You
Right.
know, people are coming in and they're working out. We've got our average age on a couple of the senior facilities that we operate today is like 83. You
That's
walk
amazing.
in and people are buff. They are not in bad shape. They're in
Yeah.
incredible shape. So it's just, it's a new thinking. And what we've done is we have created these models and we're pushing them out into the market. The thing that I love about Activate is it's a $2 million all-in turnkey package.
Yep.
Generates a 28 to 35% ROI on return on invested capital, annual return on invested capital, starting in year 2. So it's a smart model, and we've got
Square footage on that?
can be as little as 5,000 square
Wow.
feet. The new ones that we're doing are about 7,500. Actually, one up into 9,000 square feet where we've added a therapy pool. But basically, it's a relatively small footprint with a robust program.
It's awesome.
And
I
it's
love it.
been historically an amenity that was a cost center. So we come in and say, hey, up your spending a little bit, and let's turn it into a profit center and a huge amenity.
If you think about like the Equinox deal with Related Group, like one of their theses behind it was like, look, I'm going to build a building. I'm going to put an Equinox below it. You're going to pay me more per rent per apartment because of that. And it works.
Right.
A couple of questions I had for you, given this whole, potentially huge opportunity and windfall of like HSA, FSA, and it's like $150 billion supposedly that's going to get unlocked, and you can get a letter of medical necessity, and now that can pay for things. Are you seeing that flow into Activate
absolutely.
locations yet, and how big of a magnitude is it?
Right now, it's about 20%.
If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, no, 20% of our membership is coming in.
Amazing. I love to hear that.
And it's booming. And, and we're charging a lot. I mean,
what's the average to like go through like this personalized assessment and like evaluation and tracking?
It's $250 a month.
It's awesome. Good. That's what it should be, though, right? Like, I'm so tainted to be like, oh, maybe that's like $49 a month. Like, no, dude. Like, let's actually make some money and actually put the right resources towards it, so we can actually deliver the results instead of like look at our P&L and saying like, why do we do this again? Who's winning? Who wins on this? Nobody.
Not me. Yeah.
Not me. And the member doesn't get results at $49 anyway. So like, I'm actually doing a disservice to my own business, the joint venture partner, and the members are not getting. So let's actually put more money into it. The HFA, FSA, I think is going to be very valuable to this industry.
So I just finished 4 years as the chairman of the Buck Institute for Research on Aging, which is the global leading research institute on purely focused on aging. It's been around for about 25 years.
Where is it?
It's in Marin County.
Okay.
It's called the Buck Institute for Research on Aging. And we've got a rock star CEO, Eric Verdon, who's now, literally changing what's going to be viewed as fitness and wellness going forward. We just launched the Phenome Health Center, which is being led by Lee Hood, who is the guy that did the Human Genome Project back in the 80s.
Not a small accomplishment.
No. And what we're focused on now is essentially building the science of wellness.
Yeah.
And when that becomes validated, real science, real research, I think it's going to change the fitness industry. So I'm working with scientists at the Buck who are building out the data that we're collecting on our Activate members so that we're going to be ready as more funds become available, we're going to be ready to get it.
How important, and we're familiar with eGym, how important is their technology, the relationship with them is,
Huge.
hardware, software?
Huge. And one of the key things for us was to be able to have that data.
Right.
eGym's been incredible. They're a great partner, and they allow us to bring this level of programming at a relatively low cost because, it used to be having personal trainers drafting programs and supervising programs. Now we draft it once, got AI-driven outcomes and program, and they've been a great partner for us.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, as you kind of look at a lot of the real estate opportunities out there and you think about presenting this Activate model, presenting the $2 million potentially to a new build, or to basically say, look, I know you haven't had success here, but I'm actually overlaying a new business model to this. There aren't that many, as you and I both know, we scour around, like there's investors in real estate, there's investors in operating businesses. Now there's more investors who understand like, hey, I'd like to own the real estate. It gives me the ability to do a lot more. Right. I could actually like retrofit this entire place whenever I want because I own it. I don't have to ask anybody's permission. Do you see that as like a big competitive advantage for you on the JV side where I'm kind of locked in? Not only am I your partner and we're not going to do like annual RFPs, right? Let's end that nonsense, right? Yeah. I'm your partner. I'm not your vendor. Right. I just say to people like, I'm your advisor. I'm not your vendor. If you're going to treat me like a customer, I'm going to treat you. If you treat me like a vendor, I'm going to treat you like a customer. Treat me like your advisor, I'm going to treat you as a client or something to that effect.
Right.
So how has like the narrative changed on your end to walk in there and say like, I'm not coming in here to like manage your stuff. I'm not a staffing company.
Yeah.
And like, just like, let me like recalibrate where we're at. So talk through that for a minute.
Yeah. So, we've got skin in the game.
Right.
We're coming in with a solution. We're creating a new co for each one of the sites. It's a joint venture partnership. We've got a lease, and the developer's got a commitment, and we've got a commitment. And there's our contracts are 20-year management agreements, but we're basically in it for, we're there.
Yeah.
We're partners. And it's our commitment to deliver on this because this is an amenity.
Right.
This has to work. And it also has to be a bottom line profit. So it's, we're going to have 20 of these up and running in the next couple of years.
That's awesome.
And
Love it.
I really want to put my foot down and start hitting the accelerator. We want to get 50 to 100 of them up. And I think, at that point, you have a distribution channel. It's pretty amazing. Mm-hmm. You also have a full, profitable individual business. And if we get our way and we've got a connection on the healthcare side and on the insured payer side, you've got a really interesting distribution model there.
Yeah.
So I think that the investors are coming in. We're talking to private equity right now. And we've got a profile of being able to get these things up, and because part of the partnership is the developers coming in with TIs and capital contribution.
Right.
Doesn't take much for us to get these things up and going, and so but we're different, We're not just a staffing company.
Right.
We're creating models that are appropriate and successful, and we're pushing them out.
And the last question I have on this is brilliant to like open it up to other people. Like I'm not just captive where, I'm running inside of a assisted living facility, but I'm opening it up to the public. What are some of the things that you've either heard or like a story or, hey, we got like these kids in here and like, we didn't think that would happen, but like it's happening organically that you're like, wow, like there's some special sauce moving around here. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if I need to like figure it out. It's just happening on its own.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because we're really not dealing with assisted living and memory care and that sort of thing. We're dealing with seniors.
Right, we're like active. Yeah.
Active aging.
Yeah.
That audience. So, and the interesting thing is that we've started, looking at the market assessments and doing a little work there. And the millennials are more interested in longevity than the seniors are.
Uh-huh.
So when you start talking about a program that's going to be data-driven, these people are going to be tested and retested. They're going to be the most well-understood bodies.
Yes.
and that doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a senior to appreciate that.
I know.
So actually, with two models, we're opening one in Sunnyvale and one out in Cedar Park, Texas. And both of those are, originally designed for seniors, but all of a sudden now we're kind of shifting because the market that we're going to be selling to is not necessarily senior.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go into a soul cycle class. I'm not that old, but I'm like the oldest person in there. But there's like 16, 17-year-olds that are, getting their fitness in. They don't care that I'm there. I don't care that they're there. Like we're all just participating in this program and getting what we want out of it. I heard the same thing, like, Orange Theory, that could go, from like 18 to like 80 in certain locations. So I think it's great that like people aren't like shoehorned into like a brand. They're shoehorned into like an experience and like what resonates with them regardless of what age they're at, because some people might want data at any age, right? Some people want to feel and some people want community and safety, so I think it's great what you're doing.
Yeah, no, I think this is the following the biometrics of individuals is that's not an age thing. That's an efficiency and a quality of life thing. So activate. We're fired up about it.
I love it. All right, Active Wellness. You heard it here first on Halo Talks. If you need a joint venture, erase your brain, call Jill and team, and she will show you what the current state and the future of the bricks and mortar is going to be and the programming to go with it. So thanks for coming on. Great to see you again. I love what you're doing and it's needed. And, it's great when like you talk to somebody and like you nailed it because like you just know at this point, right? If not, like maybe we should go do something else and then we ain't doing anything else. So go Halo and go Active Wellness.
Thank you, Pete.